Welcome, David, to the Kleiner Perkins office. It's so awesome to have you here.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to hang out together.
It is, and the pleasure is mine today to talk about why we invested in you and Revo. And as I look back, I'm a student of history, of technology specifically, and you look back at the cycles of technology and you think back to the cycle of desktop computers and Unix workstations and digital contact management. And that was the first emergence of Salesforce automation and the emergence of Siebel systems back in the early 90s. And that was really the true first CRM. And then came the internet and the obvious emergence of Salesforce.com in the early 2000s. And that was because now all of a sudden you could run your CRM in the cloud. And with these major shifts in technology, every 10 to 15 years you have a new way of doing things. In the case of CRM, actually the last 20 years, there has been nothing or a dearth of new technology that helps us do our jobs better as human beings. But, AI came and so did Revo. And with that, you at the right time are building an all-in-one go-to-market platform that is driven by AI. And so that is the technological shift that I think creates the next generational company in software and specifically in CRM. And it'd be hard to build this if it wasn't for you and your founders being incredibly technical and having the ability to cover so much surface area that needs to be built with an all-in-one revenue platform like a Rippling that we have a ton of experience with here at Kleiner Perkins. And we invested in you and Curtis and Clement and Cindy because we believe that you had the ability to build the most incredible technical team that would go and build this wide surface area without getting much market validation before you actually go out to market. You need to build something that works. And you guys have done that over the past year and a half. And I'm just thrilled to see the amount of product that's been built and how you are going to change how revenue teams use and interact with AI-enabled software. There's one line on your website that I actually love is, people buy from people. Revo makes sure nothing gets in the way. So maybe let's start there. Why did you start Revo?
Well, thank you for that vote of confidence. It's always a pleasure to meet brilliant folks and partner together for the long run. And so you've been amazing partners so far, and our partnership have turned into friendship, and this is great. So I cherish that a lot. On Revo, it starts with the customer and starts with those that we have the opportunity to serve. And we're reimagining go-to-market in a first principle manner from the ground up with a vertically integrated AI play that encapsulates all of marketing, sales, and success in one unified platform. And to your exact point, why does it matter and what's the problem that we're solving? Revenue teams today are facing three painful problems that I also faced along with my co-founders running go-to-market in our previous startup. And the three problems are, one, it's what we call the Frankenstack, which is, with the cloud era technology, every revenue team has to procure dozens of different solutions to just power their day-to-day, leading to dozens of tabs that you have to alt-tab across just to book a meeting. And that's a lot of cognitive overhead. And sales teams have reported that they're spending only 30% of time talking to humans and selling versus actually hire. Second issue they face is the integration tax. In the cloud era, integration, the word integration is basically synonymous with cloud. First question that anybody asks is like, what is the integration that you have with the existing systems? And we believe that in the future world of AI, that is actually the wrong way to think about it. Integration leads to data silo, data degradation, and data loss, which means that revenue teams are actually flying blind with misleading insights and busy work. And last but not least, on the painful problem that revenue teams face is, in the age of AI, they're operating by trying to trust fake AI. And what do we mean by that is, AI is only as good as the data it's fed. In a world where you have data silos and data losses, AI doesn't have the full context of the life cycle of a customer and a deal. And so then how do you trust AI to generate high precision insights when the recall set of ground truth data is so low? Mathematically, that's just flawed.
Yeah.
And so Revo fixes all three problems by building one unified platform that captures all the ingress surface area of all the jobs to be done and stored vertically integrated in our own first-party data store, where we're able to run models, both frontier models as well as our distilled models, to generate the most accurate insight, action, and momentum for our customers. So that's what we're trying to solve for here.
Great. Well, there's a lot you're building.
Yeah.
And so what's the initial surface area of Revo today? What does it look like? How do you experience it?
One of the values that we operate and execute by is this belief of dream big, but start small. And so our dream big is all of marketing, sales, and success in one unified platform. That's a very, very wide surface area of dream big. Start small is to start with all of sales, which one can argue is already very large as well. And so today, our customers are able to experience Revo to power the entirety of their sales motion from prospecting down to close one. Specifically, if you're looking to find leads, companies are looking and screaming for help finding more leads as well as screaming for help closing them. And so there's a slew of jobs to be done, from prospecting, enrichment, outbound, campaigns, setting up meetings, doing inbound lead capture, video meetings, phone call, email exchange, as well as obviously recording it in a unified AI CRM to propel a system of action forward. And so that's what we support today. But obviously, as with any dream big, we're going to then expand into the marketing side of the house from a product perspective, as well as customer success, to unify the customer journey into one cohesive platform.
Awesome. My partner, Lee Marie, who's a friend of yours, longtime friend of yours, when she first brought up you and your co-founders in Revo, she brought up this really interesting founder story of why you started Revo in the first place. It would be great to hear about the inspiration behind Revo.
Yeah, sure. I believe in the power of individuals and seeing each person cherish at their individual best. And a lot of that starts from understanding how we derive our own sense of importance and how we derive our own sense of pleasure. And so for me, how I derive my sense of importance is value creation. And how I derive my sense of pleasure is doing right by those I have the opportunity to serve. And so the intersection of that in entrepreneurship leads to a lot of fascinating opportunities. And over the last 15 years, I've had the opportunity to serve in multiple engineering leadership roles across successful startup exits, most notably DoorDash, which is now a household name. In addition to engineering leadership, I had the fortunate opportunity to serve in go-to-market leadership in my previous startup. And that was a very painfully eye-opening experience of how held back modern go-to-market teams are by their own chosen fragmented tech stack. And so I figured, as a technologist, as a builder, and as a value creator, let's go ahead and build the solution. And especially now with the power of AI, where, to your point earlier, every technology shift drives a new set of companies. The legacy go-to-market systems that are powering revenue teams today were created in the cloud era, but not set up for success in the AI era. And in order to leverage AI correctly, you gotta have all the context. And this is where we said, okay, let's think from first principles, map out all the jobs to be done from a workflow perspective that revenue teams have to execute on a daily basis. Evaluate that full MECE set of jobs to be done from a graph perspective and identify, are there inefficiencies in that edge to node traversal that we can make better? And then rebuild a platform from ground up.
Yep.
How it was supposed to be built.
Yeah.
One unified system for marketing, sales, and success. No more alt tabs across different things.
Yeah.
Helping revenue teams elevate their human-to-human interaction, because humans buy from humans.
Yeah.
And trust is consistency over time.
And is that the core edge that you have as a company, is that you have the first-party data across the whole sales platform?
Yeah, absolutely. So the core technology edge, as well as the data moat, really just comes from a couple things. One is, it's really hard, but it's necessary to take an approach that builds for the and not either or of a combination of the breadth of product surface area, the depth of each capability, but more importantly, the cohesion of every single module interacting together in perfect harmony. Without all three combined together, you'll get a fragmented AI experience that doesn't set up revenue teams for success in the future. And so we achieve this in three approaches. One is we ensure that data accuracy is at the highest. And this means capturing the raw ingress surface area first-party data in high resolution across all the modalities and channels where the sales activities are generated. Two, making sure that the relationship integrity is highest trust. And that means in a world of a lot of dynamic changes of interactions, that our data model is able to be flexible to support the change in behavior of human-human interaction, which is very dynamic. And lastly, but most importantly, is semantic meaning. And so if Revo is going to be the de facto co-pilot and concierge for revenue teams in the future, you gotta make sure that we're able to surface the most relevant insight at the right time to help revenue teams drive action forward. And all three has to be done from first principles. And that's what's hard about it, and that's why we need to do it. And it's all in service of the customer.
Yep. And so speaking of in service of the customer, how do you build trust as a new company that's rolling out this broad surface area for revenue teams, both from a data standpoint, from providing guidance and direction as a concierge even? How do you build that trust?
Yeah. The simple business equation is trust equals consistency over time. We can't elongate or shorten time, but we can consistently do what we say we do to earn the trust of those we have the opportunity to serve. And so there's sort of two layers that we think of trust. One is on the data side, how do we exemplify trust and integrity when capturing and storing your data? And number two is how do we then take that data, process it, and surface the most relevant action that is most personalized to each of your contacts, deal, and opportunity that you're trying to close at any given point in time. And so on the former side, on the data capture, we are there across all the channels and modalities that sales activity happen. So this is emails, phone calls, video recordings, etc. And we capture that first party and we store it in strict tenanted systems that adhere to very tight InfoSec standards, because your data is very, very important. We want to make sure we don't screw with the data. Second piece is we then take that and compute in our proprietary tech algorithms to generate the most personalized activities, tasks, insights, and momentum that is relevant for that specific job to be done at any given point in time. One of our customers was able to close her deal 2 weeks faster than anticipated because Revo was able to catch follow-up actions that her team would otherwise have missed. Our target customer today are companies that are exemplifying a B2B sales motion, either selling a service or a software. And so if you have a team that needs to go through multiple steps to find your customer, engage with a customer, close your customer, and then retain your customer, that full life cycle, Revo is for you.